Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode of Connecting Women in Insurance. Today we are continuing the conversation with several of the women who have been on the podcast this past year. So if you will, please like and subscribe to your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss any future episodes. So let's get started with the continued conversation. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves and we'll get started with Grace.
Hi, I'm Grace Hansen. I am the founder and CEO of Elysian, which is an AI native TPA.
Thank you. Angeline.
Angeline Zarang with South Group Insurance on the sunny Gulf Coast of Mississippi.
Yes, ma'am. Joe.
Joe Ferris with TSI Adjusters in Clearwater, Florida.
Denise.
Denise Miles. I am the Senior Vice President of Claims for Trident Reciprocal Exchange. We are a new insurance carrier in Florida, came into the market in 2024, specializing in homeowners, but we'll be expanding to commercial products.
Awesome. Erica?
Erica Duda. I am the CEO and founder of InsureQuest Training and Development in Lakeland, Florida.
Leslie?
And Leslie Sims. I am managing partner at Rubinton Sims. We are a law firm in Florida. We also do some work in Texas, handling first and third party insurance claims.
Thank you. And Penelope.
Hi, I'm Penelope Lemery, CEO and founder of Lemery Connects Recruiting and Consulting, coming to you from the beautiful and cold North Georgia mountains.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, I really appreciate you all taking the time to do this with me. This is actually, on this day, 1 year ago, I recorded the first episode of Connecting Women in Insurance. So this is really cool.
Hey.
If you haven't been with us before, all these amazing women, plus some others who were unable to make it, were guests on the podcast this year. So we're going to jump right in and get started with, is there anything new happening in your life since your episode, personally or professionally? You can go ahead and just jump right in. Like, as I told y'all this morning, the new thing in my life is Hope broke the fence again. So anyway, that's just one of the new things. But so let's go ahead and get started. Penelope, what about you? Is there anything new?
Oh, so much new. Everything is new, personally and professionally. So personally, I've had a lot of changes and they're exciting changes. And I am just moving forward with my next chapter in life. And professionally, the market has been a little topsy-turvy lately. So my partner, Malika, and I, we took advantage of that and we upgraded and updated not only our website at lemeryconnects.com.
I saw that.
Yeah, but we're also offering new services where we do resumes, career coaching, HR consulting, outplacement services.
Nice.
If somebody needs to, a company or a leader needs to let somebody go, which nobody wants to do. We're there to try and help them get back on their feet, do some coaching, some networking and recruiting for them. So it's exciting times.
That is. And I know Erica and I talked yesterday. I know she has been like crazy busy.
I have. Yeah. So since our podcast, as Penelope says, the market's been topsy-turvy is probably the best way to put it.
Right, exactly.
And especially being in claims and focusing on claims definitely was interesting last year.
Yes.
So we pivoted and actually expanded outside of insurance and sought after different markets. And we now have several clients in manufacturing, in telecom, I'm partnering with several online course building course offering services and stuff like that. So we've expanded away from insurance a bit, but it was we were able to kind of leverage our experience in that to different fields. So it's been
Awesome.
Really exciting. It's been a lot of fun and incredibly busy, but it's been great.
What about you, Denise?
Well, 25 was a probably I've never worked so hard in my life in the year 2025, setting up this company and trying to build out everything, even including catastrophes. Like literally, it's been like the hardest job. But what's exciting is that it's been the most rewarding,
Awesome.
and to see the fruits of my labor. And so, really excited that in going into 26, I have now several members of staff. I've hired people to help me. So this should be a little easier. I'm excited to have a new claims director that I brought on, and as well as someone who is specializing in SIU. So it's going to make it, and we have more plans for that growth in 26, and so it's just exciting to sort of plan that, from a work perspective. From a personal perspective, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm going a little nuts because my daughter's a senior in high school and she just got accepted to like, I think now her 5th college, and like making these decisions and knowing that it's like, she's going to be leaving me soon. And like, I don't know, my heart is going to break. I don't know how, I'm going to just follow her to college because I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's bittersweet when they go away. And then you realize you have 3 seconds to yourself and you're like, this isn't so bad. Just for a minute. Just for a minute.
Yeah.
But I get it. That's wonderful. What about you, Leslie?
So I guess, echoing professionally some of what Penelope and Erica said, with the market being what it is, our firm concentrated primarily on first party property cases, representing those. And when those claims are not as steady, coming into lawsuit as they were, we've expanded, like I said, doing the third party stuff, some liability work for some of the same carriers and some new carriers. And then trying to expand a little bit of our practice from Florida into Texas as well, feeling out that market. So it's an exciting 2026, I think, kind of diversifying and expanding and learning.
Yes.
Personally, we're on the same, I'm just trying to keep it steady. So so far, nothing to report. No news is good news.
Yes. Grace, what about you?
Yeah, well, personally, I guess the big news is on Saturday, I'm moving to New York from Nashville.
No.
Right outside the city, Long Island. So this will be a first. I've never lived there before.
Okay, I have to tell you, I'm going to interrupt real quick, but I was there. My daughter had a summer thing. She won a scholarship to the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. So I went up there to pick her up.
Oh, cool.
And by the way, carpool taught me how to drive in New York. Like I was on it, man. I drove like a pro, never even got a scratch on my car. And I was in the middle and I was hollering just with the rest of them. But anyway, New York's wonderful, but they have a farmer's market there. I would move there for that farmer's market. Like I'm not even lying. I would move there for that farmer's market. Ma'am?
It's in Manhattan, the farmer's market?
I'll have to send you the address.
Yeah,
but it was in the main part. But anyway, go ahead and tell me. So New York, wow.
Yeah. And so our business, so I think when we talked last year, I had one customer, we weren't live.
Right.
We were building something and hoping that we were building the right thing. And as it turns out, I think we were building the right thing. And now we have, I think we're up to 12 customers. I just got news this week. We have 2 more. Our revenue is basically, breaking 7 figures, which is just shocking. Like to me,
that's awesome.
Good for you.
That we actually are. It's like a real thing. It's
huge.
kind of. I'd say it was kind of a game, but it was a little bit of a game in the beginning because it's not quite real. But now you have real customers, and so it's been a journey. Learned a lot.
That is awesome. So when I tell your story, it's going to be because you were on my podcast.
It could. I'll tell you what. It probably definitely didn't hurt that I was on your podcast.
I'm just teasing you. That is wonderful. So Angelina, what about you? You've got Mardi Gras coming up.
Oh yeah, we're all in the middle of it. I got all kinds of festivities going on this weekend and next weekend, and don't tell anybody, but I have been chosen to be the grand marshal of the Crew of Kids Parade. So it'll be me, the lone adult, with all these other little kids.
That is awesome.
I'm honored anyway. It's so fun. It's a great time of year. So I'm.
They leave on 10th.
That's right. I'm decked out in purple, green, and gold at all times. But I am having so much fun in my personal life, in my work life. I am all about mentoring the next generation because, if we don't get them up to speed, we can't go. We can't
Right.
leave. We can't relax. So that's what I'm doing. I am really working hard to get all of my little chickadees up to speed and functioning to where I can just step out and they can take it and run. We want to keep growing our business. We want to keep implementing AI. We're having so much fun implementing AI right now into our different processes. And I have to caution them though, because sometimes it's like you can tell that's not you. You didn't say that.
Right.
You didn't write that. You don't look like that. So we have to temper it a bit and continue to be real
Right.
and effective. And so that's what we've been playing with.
That's awesome. And Joe, what about you?
So I think one of the primary things, Julie, that I had to do since the episode was actually get a professional headshot done. Julie asked me for a headshot, and I'm like, I don't have one of those. I'm like, oh man. So that was something we finally did. But no, as far as TSI goes, it was such a crazy year, like you guys all said. It was just such an abnormal, slow year across the board. And one of the things I felt the most blessed with was that we were able to maintain our team. We didn't lose anybody. And we actually gained new clients in 2025.
That's awesome.
But it is huge, but it was still like such a weird year of, even though we had all these new clients, it was just a slow year. But I feel blessed, like I said, that we were able to maintain and keep going. And I know, Grace, I would love to hear more about what you guys are doing too with your programs. I think you said something with AI too. And I know, Angela, and you said the same. So we've done a lot of enhancement with our systems and processes. That was one thing the slow year gave us, was some time to really focus on improving systems and processes with technology. I mean, it's out there. I want to get familiar with it, utilize it more. And so our team has put a lot of focus on that. So I'm excited. We actually just ran a program for our automation with assignments, and we're starting to do trials with that, to where it's just automatically assigning to adjusters to save time and get things out there quicker.
Right.
So anyways, all that to say, I am excited for 2026. I have no idea what it's going to hold, but I have big hopes and dreams for it. If you guys saw my goal list, you would be like, wow, Joe, settle down, Sparky, but I'm ready for it. So personally, I mean, my gosh, I don't know. There's always so many good things I feel like going on that just, I embrace it all. I love life and try to embrace every day of it. So all is well.
So how did the cookie making go with your nieces
Oh
for
my
Christmas?
God. So I that's my goal for 2026, is to really get better about posting more things about life in general, because I don't do it often. I will send you the little video. We made so many cookies. Like, it was literally 2 days straight of baking. It was
That's
crazy.
awesome.
It
Where
was
are
awesome.
cookies at, Jill?
Right.
Come on now.
I know. Trust me, I had enough for the whole freaking insurance industry, I feel like.
That's awesome. Well, I love that everything's going well for all of you. And it's just 2025 was odd. It was just odd. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like over the top exceptional, so to speak, but it just was odd. And I'm with y'all. I have this excitement about 2026. I can't wait. I've got some thoughts for this too, but all right. So now that we've all kind of talked about what's been going on, I want to go back a little bit and ask, and anybody can just jump in and say whatever, but is there a comment that someone made that really resonated with you, and why? And like, there's several. Like, I can't even, there were so many things y'all said that just really resonated with me. And throughout, I'll say this, throughout the whole year, the theme really was, mistakes aren't failures. Failures aren't failures unless you don't learn from them, unless you let that defeat you. Just because, like, you fail at, so because you're going to fail, we're human. You may fail at this try, But what you may learn is that's really not your thing, or, oh, I should have done B and C, not A and G. And I think as just listening to all of you and where you started and where the accomplishments you've all made, that was resounding throughout, like throughout. And stand up for yourself. That was another one. Like, you all are just phenomenal. I learned so much. It just wasn't even funny. But I do want to hear from you all. So just hop in if there was a comment that someone made that really resonated with you and why.
I know it was actually Denise, you and Kelly both hit me because I thought it was some of the best advice to give to anybody getting involved in insurance, starting a new job. And I think Kelly said, just jump in and figure it out. And Denise said, learn every facet of the business. Take advantage of it, learn every facet, dig in, volunteer, get involved with everything about it, because that's where the learning comes from. And as a recruiter, that is one of the best advices that you can ever give to somebody coming into the industry, starting with a new company, starting with a new job. I couldn't have said it better myself. Jump in, figure it out, and learn every facet.
Anybody else? You don't have to remember word for word. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And not so much a specific comment, but what I saw is a common theme in that most of us came from, these humble beginnings, and we started from the bottom and we worked our way up, and we did all of these different jobs in between, and to get to where we are today. And I think that, we're all similar, very similar in how we're aligned with, our drive and ambition. But also, I think having that path and having experienced that makes us better leaders, better supervisors, because I think it builds a level of respect for the people who then are on your teams, because you didn't just rise to the top overnight. Like, you've done all of the jobs in between, and I saw that, heard that with a lot of you, and I think that's impressive, especially in a time when I feel like some of our younger generations are just coming out of college, and they immediately want a big salary. They immediately want to have some status as far as like being called, supervisor and having titles. Well, you have to earn it, and you have to start from the beginning. And we all did that. And I think it's amazing bunch of women.
That is very well said, because I was thinking about it this morning, and honestly, I thought if they were to ask me what was the one thing I got, that would be above it all, because I was talking with my daughters and different ones over the past couple weeks. Different things come up, and I'm not on TikTok. I don't know how to do it, but I'll learn. But anyway, everybody wants to be this, like you said, TikTok phenomenon. They want to start off making six figures and only working 2 to 4 hours a week and whatever. And they look at, like, I could look at each one of you and think, wow, they've got this title, they've got this salary, they've got this respect and recognition. But you got that from the 12 to 18 hour work days that you've done for 20 years. That's where it comes from. It comes from the grind. It doesn't come from the few hours in a boardroom that people see you. It comes from the late nights and the coffee and all that. So I love that, Denise, and I think you're right. That really, there's only one person and she started kind of at the bottom where she was, but stayed kind of in the same vein, and that was Casey Lynch. And Casey told me she reached out to you, Leslie. She's the lawyer in California. Yep. But she kind of started there, and went up, but she again bottom up. She learned it all. So I love that.
You got to have two things, the grit and the grind.
Very
and
good.
You got the grit and the grind, and you will be successful no matter what you do.
100%.
One thing that I always talk about whenever I'm recruiting and trying to assess a new potential insurance agent is you've got to love what you do. If you don't love it, this is not the place for you. And the insurance industry is a very special industry. We make our living by getting people to like us and trust us.
Mm-hmm.
We have a level of expertise that we have to be able to convey and still be personable. So it's a very tight balance on the type of people we are and the type of people we connect with.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all just so dadgum nice. And I mean, sometimes that gets you beat up and kicked out and, but you got to put on your armor and come back to work the next day. But it really is such a fabulous, fabulous industry. And the harder you work, the more successful you are.
Absolutely. Okay, so what did you learn about someone you already knew or after watching their episode? And if you didn't know anybody, because I know some of you have known each other for years and years, and some of you are just now meeting each other. But what for those of you who know each other, what did you learn about someone you already knew that you didn't know before?
I learned that Denise went to culinary school and was a chef.
Right?
And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what? I've known
Yeah.
Denise for how many years and would have never guessed that. And now I'm like, I want to know your secrets.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm still going to make a taco board and send you pictures because I've got to do that.
That was awesome. I forgot about that. But
I have
yes,
not
that was
forgotten
really
about
cool,
that.
Denise. I had no clue what that about you. So I thought that was really cool.
That is
Well,
very cool.
I mean, and I didn't know that you were such, quite the baker. And I think that was one of the things that I learned about you, that some comment about if you had to do it every day, would you enjoy it as much? And that was kind of like me with the culinary arts. Like I loved it, but then I was doing it every day, and I wasn't loving it as much as I didn't have I was losing my passion for it. But now I have love. Like, I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to and that's how I wind down is I cook and I cook for my family. And so, yeah, there is a difference there when you have to do it every day versus when you want to do it.
Yes. I love it.
Takes
Yep.
the
That
joy
was really
away from
cool.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can we talk about Kelly Cressy from Hague, who did floral arrangements for the Ritz-Carlton?
Wow.
How long have most of us known Kelly?
Right.
I never knew that.
I know.
If I had to bet money on what she had done, I knew she got into it through the mitigation and stuff, but doing all the flowers for weddings and brides and stuff for the events at the Ritz-Carlton, I would have lost money on that.
Yeah.
That's funny. And what's so funny to me is she has a cigar shop.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? Magnolia?
Magnolia.
Mm-hmm. So go figure,
Yeah.
from flowers and champagne to cigars.
And whiskey.
She is awesome. Right. She I don't know if y'all saw the post that I did on Facebook of my upside down video. But Jeremiah does these. I do the others, obviously. But she came to the house, and I tell you what, I had such a good time with her. Like, she's just, I don't know.
She's so fun.
She is fun. But yeah, I wouldn't have guessed going from Ritz-Carlton to mitigation. That's awesome.
It's amazing though, because the connection of customer service
Mm-hmm.
and really listening to the customer and making sure, that you're delivering that for the customer equates policy holder.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Because
Now we know her secrets.
yeah, because if you got it wrong on a bride,
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. So yeah, that was fascinating. So throughout these of the ones that you were able to watch, what was something that made you laugh? Like, what did somebody do or say, or you find out about them that just made you laugh?
For me, it was Joe, because we have the same pet peeve, the hover, and it made me laugh, and it made me like, oh my gosh, like, right, absolutely, like, no hover, no, it's a hard no.
I think I'm very impressed by all of you having such a good memory. I can barely remember what happened yesterday.
Same, Grace.
I
I'm
don't
glad
even
you said
remember
it.
what I said
Yeah.
on the podcast. You would have to do a
I know.
complete refresh. For me, well, yeah, I just wanted to jump in because I kind
Yes.
of the last question.
Okay.
The thing that has surprised me, not knowing any of you, is, when I started in the homeowner space, which would have been 2007, I guess. That's how old I am. There were not many women at all. So the fact that so many of you are in the periphery, whether it's in the claim space or in the adjusting space or in the restoration space or even the recruiting space, I mean, that just didn't exist. In 2007, there was like the odd woman. I remember being like, oh, there's a woman. So I think it was really exciting and interesting to sort of see how many women were in such kind of important critical roles. And, that was kind of my takeaway from the whole series, is that there were enough women to be on the series.
Oh, well, I've got a whole nother year planned. I mean, this is fantastic. But I agree with you, because that was the point, is to highlight the fact that, yeah, there are some phenomenal women. I can't even begin to tell you how blessed I've been just to meet you all and to get to know you. But I love that you brought that up, Grace, because it's important, and you're one of the leaders. Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah, no, I try not to.
Well, yeah,
it's all an accident. I tell someone it's just a giant accident that keeps happening anyway. But yeah, and it's great to see. I mean, I admire. There's women not on this call, but who I think you spoke to, that I just admire her in the industry, and or start your own business, or like this is my first time doing that. So I look at people who've done that. I'm like, wow,
Oh yeah, it's been fun. So did anyone else have a funny moment they saw that they liked? Because I'm just gonna tell you, Layla Taha kind of did it for me. I don't know if you got to watch hers, but all caps in your boss on Halloween, and having to go into have the meeting in a cave woman outfit. That was awesome. I told her afterwards, I'm like, I have so much respect for you right now. Like, that was freaking awesome. Number one, epic. You all capsed. You just had it. You all capsed them. And you did it in a cave woman outfit.
Yeah. And I love, like, no coincidence that he sent her a message all those years later on Halloween. Because, like, Oh, yeah. That was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been a lot of funny moments. Like, you guys have had some funny stories to tell. And, but that one just really stood out to me, because I could kind of see myself doing something like that.
It shows us women get things done, whether it's Halloween, getting ready for a Halloween party, getting your kids ready, a costume, whatever. We do what we got to do.
Yes, absolutely. So what did each of you learn about yourselves from this experience or watching your episode? Like, kind of, what's one thing that stood out when you watched your episode?
I like seeing myself on camera.
I was gonna say how awkward I am.
No.
But I will say, from watching, kind of, maybe not watching myself, but kind of watching everyone, I think I'm going to echo a little bit of what everybody has said here. It's amazing to see how, while we all have different paths and different stories, we kind of all have the same story. And so I think there was a level of, even being asked to do this podcast, like a level of imposter syndrome that I was having, that I was feeling, that I was like, me? Are you sure? and then listening to, seeing myself do this and seeing, these other like really incredible women doing kind of the same thing and having like I said, that same kind of theme, that same working from the bottom up and accomplishing these things. It's like, you know what? Maybe I was one, maybe this is a crowd that I can stand with. And wow, like how proud to be, one of these people, one of these incredible women and one of these, strong, smart women and making these moves and doing these things. So I think that was something that I learned from, the process altogether. So that was I don't need to have quite such that imposter syndrome. We do belong here and we belong to stand together.
Well said. And yes,
Leslie,
you
that's
do.
such a good point because I think every single one of us in our careers, whether starting out or even, in the middle of everything, we've all had those days, those meetings, those introductions, business proposals, whatever it is where we feel maybe less than or feel that imposter syndrome. And I think it's it's really good for us to share that and to be able to be vulnerable about it and say, this is normal and this is how we push through it. And we know our voices matter and being out there. And the more you do it, the more you lean into fear and that uncomfortableness, the more comfortable we get in doing things we haven't done. And the imposter feeling kind of lessens a little bit each time. I think that's so important because we've all been there and we've all feel it. And sometimes we still feel it, whether it's work or whether it's our personal lives.
Oh yeah. Well said.
When I was on your podcast, I was actually going through a period of panic attacks, and I've never had panic attacks, so I didn't even know what they felt like until I actually started having them because I was fundraising. And so I knew if I didn't fundraise, my company would go out of business because that's what happens with startups. And I was having to go in front of investors, literally multiple investors a day. And even though you see yourself on Zoom, it's a little different than a podcast. And I think what your podcast did was it showed me what other people were seeing because and like in a more objective way versus in my head how I thought I was appearing. And so it was very helpful, right? It made me feel like, oh wow, I don't sound stupid.
Not at all.
I sound reasonably intelligent and I was able to, kind of poke fun at myself too, which helped because then I actually got more and more relaxed. And, of course, we did close the funding round, which was amazing. But by the time we did, it was a lot more about, oh, yeah, well, of course I closed the funding round versus,
Right.
oh, my God, I'm so lucky. I can't believe I did this. Right. It was so it was a journey. And, I think that's what these experiences teach us, right? We get to see ourselves in different ways, and we don't always see ourselves clearly. So thank you for that opportunity, Julie.
You're welcome.
For sure.
Grace, I was going to say this. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it just makes me tear up because
Oh,
that's amazing. Because you look at, go ahead, Joe. I'll be quiet.
no, go ahead. No,
I was
go
gonna say,
ahead.
you look at you all and where you are now, and I'm not there yet. I will be, but I'm not there yet. And you look at, I was like, I cannot believe I'm getting to interview these women. Like, they are, wow. And to hear you say that,
You're making a difference.
Well, it's just that I think it helps people because what I learned in interviewing each of you is that we're not so different. You might have, a bigger title or a bigger salary or a whatever, or you may have more connections or this, that, and the other just because of the work you've done or the path you've taken or whatever. It's not you're better than me or I'm better than you. But to see and hear that someone else gets nervous or someone else, I think that helps people because I do get messages that nobody sees, and you all have made a difference. I mean, there are people that are like, wow, she was pretty incredible, and so thank you for being vulnerable for a minute there, Grace. That was awesome. Because I would have never, just like Penelope would have never expected Kelly to be at the Ritz-Carlton doing weddings, I would have never thought you would get nervous in front of people. That's pretty, I love that you've conquered that. I love that. Because you are. I told, who was I telling? My mom. I'm like, I interviewed Grace today, and if anybody ever is the definition of their name, it's her. She is probably the most graceful and gracious woman. She's just fabulous, and you are. And I'm like, she's so poised, and she's so well spoken, and I was a little nervous because you were my third or fourth person. I was kind of getting my groove a little bit, and anyway, but so I'm glad that lets you see you the way I see you and the way other people see you, because you are amazing. I mean, you all are, but I'm just saying that I think that just surprised me a little. But go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I love what you shared. All I was going to say was, for me, and piggybacking on what Grace just shared, it was an experience to appreciate the journey all over again, right? We've all had our journey of experience of how we got to where we are right now. And just being able to share that and actually kind of relive it and talk through it again, it's a whole new appreciation of the hard work we've put in, right? And like Denise was saying, some of these kids just want to get right to it. They have no idea the hours. I know Penelope talked about it, the sleepless nights. Can we talk about the 3 a.m. laying there? Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this moment? And it just was a whole new appreciation again of that journey and the hard work that we've put in to be sitting here with you, Julie, doing this. So thank you for doing this for us. I think it was an incredible opportunity.
Absolutely. Erica, you kind of look like you wanted to say something.
Oh, I everyone has already said what I've said. I think just the fact that I was selected to be among such amazing women who are doing such incredible things in this industry, and very much I have felt like an imposter starting my business. And I'm like, what business do I have starting this brand new company? And so I really struggled with that for so long. Last year was like my year of podcasts. I was on a couple of different ones.
Yay.
And it really helped me kind of get my voice out there. I am naturally super introverted, very shy. So it was a struggle for me. Like, it was very, very difficult, but being able to do it and hearing from people that I look up to and admire and respect that also say, hey, you know what, this is really tough for me, helped me in more ways than I can even describe. So I know everyone else has kind of said the same thing, but thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability and all that, because you guys have helped me have the confidence to be able to pivot where I need to go. And I'm going to tear up right now, but this month is going to be the best month I've had so far. So
yay!
That's awesome.
Yay.
Congrats.
Yay! That's awesome.
It's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, that is the point in this, and I'm so grateful that that Craig really heard me when I pitched this, because I'm like, there are so many people, men and women, that need to hear these women's stories, because, again, this is not about being anti-man or male or whatever. It's just that people don't realize that the insurance industry has so many facets, and you can find your niche and have a really great career. Like, you can do well. If you're willing to work till 3 a.m., if you're willing to put the time in, if you're willing to show up when you're scared and just do it anyway. And that's what each of you have done. And it's fascinating. And I'm just looking forward to where this goes, because I've got some pretty cool ideas, and I may be hitting you up later, Penelope. But But
I'm ready for you.
so we're kind of coming to a little bit of an end here, but is there anything that you wish you would have said and you didn't on your when you were on the podcast?
You're doing it again, Julie. You're asking us to remember.
I know. I'm like,
Okay, well, you don't have to remember back. You can just, if there's something you would like to say, even if it's say it again, what would you say?
I would say keep blooming. We are not at the end of our road yet. And there's a lot more that we can do together, individually, for our industry, for our coworkers, for our customers. So keep going. The best is yet to be.
Well said.
Anyone else?
I think this year has been about, shedding our skin, shedding things that don't serve us, starting things anew. And I just have this feeling of forward motion and momentum for 2026. I think we're all going to have some of the best years we've ever had. And I think one of the reasons why we're going to have it is because we're all going to do it together.
Yes,
We're all
I
going to be
agree.
connected. We're all going to lift each other up. We're all going to rise together. And there's, no telling what we can do with this forward momentum. And I echo what everybody else said. Thank you, Julie, for bringing us all together, for introducing some of us and those of us that have known each other forever. It's really nice to come together, learn new things about each other, and really connect with each other, realize we have so many of the similar vulnerabilities, and really kind of lift each other up. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing.
No, thank you. So this kind of wasn't one of the questions. I didn't add it. But is there anything, because we have a few minutes left, is there anything you all would have liked to have asked me or asked someone else you watched that, like when you were watching their podcast? Yes, Grace, I'm asking you to remember. But like if they said something that sparked a question and you were like, I wish they'd asked this, is there a question? And if not, that's fine.
One of the things, Joe, you said this, it really it made me really feel it because we've all been there. When you got fired from your position and you weren't expecting it, and that led you to start TSI, this new company with Rocky, doing all this stuff. I think there's so many things, and we all have that where you've been let go. It didn't go as planned. You didn't get that job, but realizing that it was the best thing that ever happened to you. I think that is so important to revisit. Anytime something happens, we're let go, we're fired, we don't get the job that we wanted, we don't get the promotion, realize there's something bigger and better out there for you. And what Joe said is, she had her minute of, what? This is crazy. Let me dust myself off. And Rocky said, come on into the office, get back in here right away. And as women, I think we do this a lot. We rally, we jump in, we do it. And it was one of the best decisions of your life because it ended up being now, you're the, president of your company that has been successful for how many years now. And that never would have happened if the negative hadn't happened. So for everybody to really keep faith and move forward and realize that if there is an obstacle, to push through it, there's a reason for it. Really look
100%.
at it from a different perspective, crawl out of that rabbit hole and go for it. Do the things you've always wanted to do, that you've always dreamed of, that you've always been scared to do, and look what could happen.
I 100% agree.
Yep. I mean, I don't know how many times I've called Penelope, like crying my eyes out, like, "Oh my God, this happened again. The company went out of business," blah, 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 you know. But I think, and Penelope's so inspirational, and like just like just reminds me of my value, and she does that for so many other women too, and so there are times now when it's just like, if things get tough or difficult, like I think about what would Penelope do? What would Penelope say to me right
Well,
now?
she'll get on those
bracelets made. What would Penelope do?
Well, she'll
Pop a
get on
bottle of
those.
champagne and dance on the table.
But yeah, and I was thinking about like when Joe said that, she was like, crying, and then it was like, all right, let's get to work. And like I had like a very like almost identical moment where like in the morning I was crying my eyes out, and later that day I was getting to work, and I was like, all right, I'm done with that, and I'm doing this, so and
Absolutely.
it's just it's that strength and resilience that we've built like over the years, and you get knocked down and you get right back up, and you're stronger than you were before.
I 100% agree. When my daughter was taking the acting modeling classes and all, there was a woman there that was running the thing and kept everybody in line and moved everybody around, whatever. But she would say, because of the and I've said this before on here, but she would say, because of the industry, you go and you audition, you don't get it. You go and you audition, you don't get it, whatever. You go and you audition, you get it. She's like, you get 40 seconds. 40 seconds to mope, 40 seconds to feel bad, 40 seconds of, oh, man, or 40 seconds of, look what I did. Look how good, I did. After that 40 seconds, you're done because you're moving to the next thing. Like, you don't sit in it no matter what it is, because if you sit in it, like, people that sit in their high school glory days and they never move past that. And that's not a criticism. It's just that's what I kind of think about. They're still there, and the rest of us have gone on and made lives and done things. And so that, I thought that was so good when she said that. And that's just like what Penelope said, what Joe said, what all of you have said. You have that moment, and then you move on. You did great, but you have the next thing to do, and women are very, very resilient. And I believe that's why we do so well and accomplish so much, and why all of you are at the level you're at, because we can do that, and we do it, and we don't think about it. It's like, okay, I need to get in this board meeting. Let me throw the laundry in, and I'm going to go out, and then I'll put it in the dryer when I come back home. I mean, it's just part of what we do. And that's why I wanted to do this, is to highlight that, because it's you all have inspired me beyond belief, but you've inspired many other people that you may never even meet. And I think it's extraordinary. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for doing this and supporting me. And I just appreciate it. But
we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you for doing this and building this community. I'm excited to see who else you are going to engage with, and we're just going to keep building this community. I think it's awesome.
I do too, and I've got some fun ideas that I'm going to work on, and we'll see where it goes. But anyway, I do want to thank you, and I just appreciate so much all of you. Unless anyone else has anything to say, I think we're good.
Thank you, Julie.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye, guys.